Well, I guess the greatest challenge is to define scenarios for the future. The world is changing so fast. It has been changing quite fast over the last few months. And infrastructure development is something which is a long-term business, and therefore one has to guess the scenario for the future, or at least define what we are trying to achieve. Europe has also decided to become more ambitious when it comes to energy and climate targets. So that also an aspect which is changing quite frequently, quite rapidly. And that is, I guess, one of the challenges. The other challenges is to try to have an integrated planning across different sectors. We're still struggling to have an integrated planning within energy between the different carriers. We have made some progress until now on that front, but there is still some distance to travel. And then we should also look at how we integrate the planning with contiguous sectors, one of which is definitely transport.
Yeah, so I don't need to talk about the planning, because in the transport you have to plan a lot. It takes a long time. But I would like to talk a little bit about the investments, the money that is needed. Transport sector is particularly challenged to decarbonize, so we need to invest into electrification of transport, especially road transport. Alternative fuels where we cannot electrify with air or maritime. And then build infrastructures. And as we know that railway is the most carbon-friendly transport mode, we massively need to invest into railways and multimodality hubs, because people really want to move. They will use in the future different modes, and so all that needs to be coordinated. I can only underscore the systemic nature of all this. And ultimately, maybe another point is really the implementation of it. There's a lot of local resistance to all these building of new infrastructures.
Well, I guess there is one aspect which we are still struggling, or one of the aspects in which we're still struggling, is to really understand what sector integration means. There are some obvious links. As Matthias was saying, electrification of transport. Obviously, you need to integrate the planning of infrastructure, transport, and energy. But we don't have yet a map of all the links that we would need to take care of, we need to focus for a really circular economy and an economy with sector integration at its full extent. And I think this should be, at least in my view, one of the immediate objectives, to try to understand which are the links that we need to develop. Because that is essentially if we want to have more integrated planning beyond the obvious.
And there I think, a conference plays its role, because all starts in the heads of the people. We have to start to think in an integrated way. Even in transport itself, the air people don't talk to the train people. So we have to create an understanding that all this is related. Sustainability forces us to do so. It's also an efficiency matter. Where do we put our resources so that we get the biggest decarbonization out of it? Again, that requires a systemic view, and the conference is a place for that.
Because we don't have it yet in policy making.